Of the Nagoya Basho, we're just over the halfway stage now. This is where the fortunes of the wrestlers start to shape up. In the lead, Chiyotaka Asashoryu. Looks like it's going to be a race between those two, but could well go to the final day when Masashi Maru could come into the reckoning. He's just one step behind with Kokonoka-me, although I wouldn't put money on Kokonoka-me taking this particular Basho. Well, that little ceremony they do there is meant to be an abbreviated ceremony that they do when they actually come into the ring. Each of those bits there symbolizes something that they do right at the start of each bout. Doesn't look very similar. So let's go to our first bout. Now, with all these injuries that we've had, we are now starting to see some of these Juryo wrestlers moving up. So if the numbers aren't there in the Makuuchi division, they bring up wrestlers from below. So this is Kitazakura, who's the second Eastern Juryo wrestler, and here fighting Chiyotenzan. Well, Chiyotenzan at Maigashira 13 wins that one without too much trouble. Kitazakura was in the Makuuchi division before, but dropped down, couldn't hang on in there, not strong enough. So second win there for Chiyotenzan. Now another Juryo wrestler coming in here. We've got Hayateumi at Maigashira 13, very near the bottom of the Makuuchi Maigashira list. He's fighting the Juryo number 1, Gojoro. Well, Gojoro's making all the running there, although you can see the knees of Hayateumi are pretty heavily taped up. Knee injuries tend to get disregarded in Japan. If you twist your knee, wrench it, whatever, damage your cartilage, they expect you to carry on fighting regardless. So Gojoro wins that one with Skiyotoshi. He fought previously in the Makuuchi division 11 times in total before dropping down. Now back into the purely Makuuchi wrestlers. This is Jumonji at Maigashira 12 fighting Hamanishiki at Maigashira 14. Well, neither of these are doing very well. There's a very good chance if they don't do a lot better, they're going to be dropped down into the Juryo division. Well, there's a throw we've been seeing quite a lot of there. The overarm grip and then the turn and the twist and a lift with the leg. Well, it's Jumonji who goes flat on his back there, just on the edge. Hamanishiki gets that one. So that's a yoritaoshi, a push down for Hamanishiki. Hamanishiki, the man who won 12 national amateur titles before he turned pro. Oh, no prize money for him there. Now, Tokitsuumi got 3 wins so far. Set out the last Basho because of an injury. Previous Basho, he only got 2 wins and then 6 losses and dropped out. Akinoshima had a big break in his sumo. He had a bad shoulder way back in '94, had a shoulder operation that kept him out of the big time for a while. Well, Akinoshima gets spun over there with the underarm throw, the shitatenage. 4th win for Tokitsuumi and 6th loss for Akinoshima. These next two have met each other 8 times previously. Otsukasa won 5 of them. Otsukasa's current favourite technique is the neko damashi. Slaps his hands in front of the opponent's face. He's never won yet with it. Said the other day he's going to keep on using it till he does win, which seems a sort of triumph of hope over experience. Well, that's the overarm, so a battle of the underarm and the overarm grips there. Daizen wins with the overarm grip. So that's 8 losses and makikoshi for Otsukasa, and 4th win for Daizen. Well, here we have Oikari, means big anchor. It's his sumo name. Fights Shimotori, Frostbird, which is his normal Japanese name. So even start from these two. Both avoided the headbang. Well, there's a Well, you can see really why all these wrestlers get injured so much. I mean, that ring they fall on is rock solid. They crash down off it, on top of each other. Sometimes they break the bones of the spectators or the referees that sit around it. Well, Shimotori won that one, his 6th win. Now, Kyokutenho fights Buyuzan. These two have never met before. Buyuzan, Musashigawa stable. Kyokutenho from the Oshima stable. A lot of Mongolian wrestlers started with the Oshima stable, including Kyokutenho, of course. So there's that, well, a lot of pushing to the face and the neck, and then he wraps in with the Morozashi, arms around the body, underneath his opponent's arms. And just on the edge there, a little push sent him over with yorikiri. And a single envelope there. Now, Green Tree Mountain. Aogiyama, back from the Juryo division, fights Kotomitsuki. Well, these two never fought before. Kotomitsuki, of course, hasn't been around that long. He came into pro sumo from the amateur sumo ranks, went very quickly up the ranks, but he hasn't actually had a lot of bashos. Well, he's not doing too well. That's his 5th loss. Aogiyama gets his 5th win. Kotomitsuki, he's a bit of an intellectual. He's data man, they call him. Got lots of videos of all his opponents, knows exactly what they do, plots each bout, but his form's not so good these days. Now we have Wakanoyama from the Musashigawa stable. Takes his name, incidentally, not from any kind of sumo tradition. He was born in Wakayama Prefecture, so then he puts in a no in the middle of that, which just means of. Wakanoyama means young mountain, so that's how he got his name. And Hokutoriki got his name because his oyakata was rather admired Takutoriki, so he thought he'd give him a similar name. His oyakata, of course, was Hokutoumi, and he has a connection with the Kokonoe stable, where Takutoriki comes from. Now, Takanowaka fights Tamakasuga. These have had 10 encounters previously. Takanowaka's won 8 of them. Tamakasuga, this basho, has won virtually all his techniques, not on the belt, but just with straight pushes and pulls. Seems to have ignored the belt almost completely, so there's his 5th win. So that was an oshidashi. Now we have Kaiho. We saw him hurt his arm at the opening stages of this basho. He fights Kyokushuzan. They fought 14 times before. Kyokushuzan's won 8, but Kyokushuzan's not doing too well this time. He's got 7 wins already. If he loses this one, it'll be Makikoshi, 8 losses. Well, his heart's not in it. They say he's got a cold. This is one of the things the wrestlers don't like about Nagoya. They try and avoid catching a cold, something to do with the heat and the air conditioning and losing weight. It's a tricky one for these Rikishi. So Kyokushuzan loses that one, gets 8th loss, and Makikoshi, well, he's at Maegashira 2, so he'll go down a little bit, but he's safe enough. Kaiho gets his 4th win. Now, Kotonowaka against Tochino Nada. These two have fought 14 times before. Tochino Nada's won 8 of them. Tochino Nada usually goes for the belt. There it is, straight for the belt. Kotonowaka not bothering too much of that, trying the kime hold over the top. It's not normally his technique. It's more Takanonami's technique. But Tochino Nada read that, no doubt, as a sign of desperation and just powered forward, drove him over the edge with yorikiri. Asashoryu certainly looks bulkier, upper body, and full of confidence. Next out, Robocop, Takami Sakari. And Tosanumi. As I said before, ignore the funny movements. He's a good sumo man. He's won 4 already. Previous basho he had 8 wins. One before that he had 9 wins. He's no pushover. Hard banging start there. Takes the shock of Tosanumi and just drives him forward. Really wanted that one. 5th win for Takami Sakari. 5th loss for Tosanumi. Let's watch that one again. Takami Sakari's got a peculiar way. He goes for the right arm on the inside, what's known as the Mikisashi, which he's very strong at, but he takes it from a funny angle, and he nearly always manages to wrong foot the opponent when he does that, and he uses it very effectively. And there's a bit of prize money for him. Well, great favourite over here. Let's hope he stays in the Makuuchi division a long time and avoids any nasty injuries. Chiyotaikai. He's going to fight Takanonami shortly. This bout, though, right now, it's Wakano Sato and it's Hamanishiki. They fought 4 times. Wakano Sato has won 4 of those. Wakano Sato's got 6 wins so far, not too bad. He had 8 wins previous basho. Got a few more bouts to go. Could certainly top his previous result. So he meets Hamanishiki's charge and then just wraps those powerful arms around him. He's a lightweight wrestler, some 30 kilos lighter, and downs him without too much trouble. There's the arms go round, locks in. A little bit of desperate manoeuvring there by Hamanishiki at the end. Doing more like judo throw at the end, but turning your back in sumo is bad news, because you can just get pushed down to the ground. So 7th win there for Wakano Sato and 7th loss for Hamanishiki. Now Miyabayama fights Asashoryu. This is the posturing. Crouch down, lean into each other. They're meant to harmonize their movements, harmonize their breathing even. The tension in the sumo stadium here mounts as they go through these crouch downs. Then finally it comes up to the main one. These two have fought 5 times previously. Asashoryu has won 3 of them. Well, he's going full straight on to Miyabayama, but Miyabayama seems to have got him on the run a bit, but there's that recovery and some slaps. So Asashoryu going back to his old style, slapping and banging to the face. There's a hard crack against Miyabayama's face in the middle of that. 2 arms on the inside. Morozashi hold for Asashoryu. There's the rocking movements. There's the power. He's got Miyabayama right on the edge and over his steps. Well, he's certainly got a lot of fight. You can see the marks on his face from that encounter. Just a bit of skin just over his eyebrow there. Face looking red. Well, that's what they get in sumo. If they stay in long enough, they end up looking pretty battered. No, that was a great bout, that one. Well, Asashoryu has got this quality of fighting back. He got really run to the edge there by Miyabayama. Let's watch it again. Well, there's the start. Miyabayama uses his weight and the height, then starts pushing. This is it. Starts to look dangerous for us. Asashoryu gets driven to the edge. And he starts circling around, away from the edge. Comes back in again. Now it starts to get a bit rough. Yeah, you can see the slaps on the face. Miyabayama comes back into it again. More slaps both ways. A lot of head banging going on. More slaps to the face. But this is when Asashoryu gets those 2 arms in deep, hand right round by the knot of the Moashi of Miyabayama, and then he'll start rocking him. There goes the stomach in. There's another stomach bang. Then it's back to the edge. A little bit of a lift, and then a lift over. And there goes Miyabayama's foot. So brilliant bout there. Well, some good sumo today. Now, Takanonami fights Chiyotaikai. They've fought 21 times previously. Chiyotaikai has won 14 of them. Takanonami's only got 1 loss so far. Well, I suspect Chiyotaka will just come out too hard and fast for Takanonami to do much about it. But let's see. Takanonami likes to use his height. He'll take one arm over high, over the top, grab the belt at the back. He'll hook the leg around. He'll also do the leg grapevine move. And he'll do the double arm lock. Well, there we go. As I predicted, Chiyotaka is unstoppable this tournament. Just comes out, a couple of slaps, and over they go. There you go, just pushing. Quite difficult to push a moving body like that. Of course, they turn from side to side. And it's quite easy for the hand to skid off that moving surface. But they're very good at adapting the changes of angle to their hand thrusts. So 9th straight win for Chiyotaka. Puts him up with Asa Shoryu with 9 straight wins. Now Musashi Maru and Toki. These two have fought 13 times. Musashi Maru's won 13 of them. Well, Toki's never beaten a Yokozuna before, never got a Kimboshi, a gold star as they call it. Well, he tried hard, he pushed against the wall, but the wall moved forward and fell on him. Well, not quite, just pushed him over the edge. So it's the 8th win for Musashi Maru. He's coming back into it now, looks a little bit more focused. At the start, he looked a bit sort of spaced out. And that was 4th loss for Toki. So there we see number of withdrawn or retired wrestlers. We've got Chiyotaka and Asa Shoryu in the lead with 9 straight wins apiece. Musashi Maru with 8 wins and 1 loss. And we've got Wakanosato, Buyuzan and Takanonami with 7 wins and 2 losses. Seems most likely that it will be a race between Chiyotaka, Asa Shoryu and Musashi Maru. But it'll be an interesting playoff. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with the last days of the Basho. Join us then. This is Syd Hoare from Nagoya. Sayonara.